Hey guys, it's me, Devin. So after a very long hiatus because of work and just needing to take some time off, I am finally back with a new video because it's the new year and hopefully I'll be able to keep up with videos in 2019. That is my main goal. But enough talking. As you can tell by the title, it is our Kpopathon announcement for January and an update to the Kpopathon. So this year we're changing things up a little bit. We are no longer going to be doing a whole month dedicated to a group. Having it the whole month was kind of nice if we did it every couple months, because then you can kind of just dedicate that 1 month and that's it. But doing it every month for 12 months, 365 days a year, just kind of got overwhelming. And the fact that it kind of got pushed to the back of my mind and Amanda's mind too. So we weren't really on top of it, because it was the whole month and there was no real rush. And the idea of a readathon in my mind is kind of like a set time, whether it be a week, a weekend, 2 weeks, where you read as much as you can. And having it the whole month was nice because you can, dedicate your whole time to reading based on that group, but it's not really a readathon in my opinion. So we are no longer going to be doing it for a whole month. And instead of just picking a group that we like or a group that fits that month, we will be doing our Kpopathon based on a comeback. So instead of a month, we will be going to 1 week a month, depending on which comebacks happen. And when the comeback is announced, we will choose a group that's coming back, depending on how many are coming back. If April is a very big comeback month, we might maybe do 2 weeks, maybe do it in March or in May instead. We don't know yet. We gotta wait. But for example, for January, we will find a group that's coming back, and our readathon will start 1 week before the music video / album drops, and the last day of the readathon will be on the day the album comes out or the music video is released. We will be lessening the amount of challenges. So instead of 6 challenges, it'll most likely only be 4, since it is only in a week instead of a whole month. So the challenges might end up staying the same in terms of how we choose them. We're keeping the Pick a Bias challenge. We're probably going to keep the debut song challenge and their most recent release or the newest comeback challenge, and then maybe one other random one. So for January, the group we are doing is, drumroll, K or Knucken. Knucken? If I'm not, it's been a while since I've just had their name in Korean like that. I just usually say K. But K is a group who was under YNB Entertainment, I believe. That was the entertainment company name. I'm not too sure. They had a bunch of amazing songs. I love their albums. They were very powerful singers, but they got dealt a bad hand with their company and just bad luck. So after their most recent album, Gravity Repackaged, their main vocalist or lead vocalist, I forget which one, Yoojin, he took a hiatus from the group because of mental health reasons. And a little later on, he released a letter to the fans, and so did the other members, explaining that he decided to leave the company and leave the group because of his mental health problems. And then, which that in turn is very sad, and the group, they were a very close-knit group, they really were like brothers, and that happened. And then they promoted for a while as 4 members in Japan, I believe, and then they cut ties with their company, YNB, because of mismanagement, if I'm not mistaken. So they were gone for a while. I don't even remember when their last album came out. I will put it here if I remember, but it was early 2018, so it's been a long time. But they finally announced that they are coming back on January 7th. They have a new member, Dongwon, who's actually been friends with the members since before debut. So they get along really well, and I'm so excited to see their dynamics. So the album they're coming out with is Lonely Night, and they actually just dropped the first 2 teasers for the first 2 members, Heejun and Jihyun, on their YouTube channel, which I will link those down below, and it's totally giving me their song Rain, which was the last song they promoted. It's giving me those vibes so bad, and I'm so excited and so emotional at the same time. So anyway, now you know that the group is K&K. They were able to keep their group name somehow. But I'm not sure if our fandoms are still called Tinkerbells. I'm assuming so. There hasn't been a change. So if you are a fan of K&K, or if you become a fan of K&K, the fandom name is Tinkerbells, which is amazing. So anyway, let's get on with the challenges for K&K. So the first challenge is the debut song challenge, which their debut song was Knock, which that dance, oh my god. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, the song is just addicting. So the first challenge, Knock, sorry, I'm just all over the place. The challenge for Knock is to knock off a book that's been on your TBR for a while. And for that book, I decided to go with a book that, God, it would have had to have been one of the first books I've purchased. And I know I got it from the library because I had to peel off the stupid plastic around it. But this book has been my TBR for, I don't know, it's 2019 now. It's been on my TBR since at least 2012. It's been a long time. And I'm so excited to finally get to it. I've been in the mood for this kind of book lately. And that book is Blood Ninja. Oh my god, it's going to mess up my white balance. Blood Ninja by Nick Lake. This, as you can tell by the title, is vampire ninjas. Like, what? Vampire ninjas. As far as I know, it's about a boy named Taro who's a fisherman's son who ends up getting mixed up with these vampire ninjas, and I'm just so excited. Like, I have all 3 books because once I found out what this was about, I had to buy the rest of the series even though I didn't read it. So this will be Knock. The second challenge, which will be our random challenge, is called Longest V Live. So K&K in 2017, I believe it was like April, they had a V Live which ended up lasting a total of 12 hours. You heard that right, a 12-hour long V Live. And as far as I know, it still holds the record for the longest V Live on the app. And they basically just hung out in this room. They had a tent set up, they had a TV, some video games, and they kind of just talked and hung out and napped, I think, for a while. So it was really cute. I didn't watch the whole thing, but they are very touchy-feely, and those were the clips I ended up seeing, like when they were huddled together in the tent, just like laying on each other. It was the cutest thing ever. But for that challenge, it's simple. Read a book within 12 hours. So you have 12 hours from the moment you start the book to finish the book. And for this, I tried to finish a series last year, which was only, a day ago, but I just didn't have the time. I decided to roll it over into January. And this book that I picked is actually a reread. I'm rereading the whole series so I can get to the newest book. And the book I plan on reading in 12 hours is Amulet, Escape from Lucian by Kazu Kibushi. This is a middle grade graphic novel all about this family who suffers a tragedy. They kind of move away to this old family house in the middle of this small town, and the kids end up finding this stone that has magical powers, and their mother gets kind of kidnapped by this magical creature thing into this world where they have to help save everybody from the evil elf king, and it's just so amazing. I love it. The artwork is so colorful and beautiful, and I just can't wait to finish this series. I've read up to book 7. This is book 5. This is book 6. I've read up to book 7, and I just got book 8. So I'm really looking forward to this. And I could definitely read this in like an hour. Like, it's so easy to read. So the next challenge is the Pick Your Bias challenge, which we are definitely going to be keeping as long as the group doesn't have like 20 members, because that'll be a little difficult to do. But anyway, over the Pick Your Bias challenge, we list off the members and we give prompts to each member for a book based on the member's personality or something about them. So the first member of K&K is Ji-hoon, who is the leader. However, he is not the oldest member. And one of the things I love about him is like when he gets excited or really happy, he kind of like puts his hands up like this and he's like, "Manse," which Manse means like hooray. So he has this like adorable childlike energy, even though he is the leader and he's supposed to be like the mature one. So for his challenge, it is to read a middle grade book. I'm going to be going with a book by an author who I really love, and I've been trying to hold off reading the rest of her books because I just don't want them to end. and that is Going Wild by Lisa McMahon. I'm going to be listening to this on audio because I listened to her whole Unwanted series on audio and absolutely loved it. So I'm hoping to love this on audio. The second member is Dongwon, who is the new member, and his reading prompt is to read the newest book on your TBR, whether it's the newest book you added to Goodreads or the newest book you purchased. I recently went to Barnes & Noble and bought 2 books. One book I'm saving, since it is a book by my favorite author, but it's also the first in a series, and I don't want to read it too quickly where I'll have to wait for the next book. But the other book I bought was the book I mentioned earlier, and that is Amulet, Volume 8 by Kazu Kibushi. Look at how bright this is. Like, these are the other 2 books. Look at the colors on this one. Like, look at that. It's like so beautiful, and I'm so excited to get to figure out what's going to be happening. I know there's 9 books on Goodreads, which the next book probably won't come out to the end of this year, but I'm just so excited. This is called Supernova, and I just can't wait. I just can't wait. So the next member is my personal bias, and he recently changed his name again. He was originally, no, I forget his original family name, and then he changed it because he was embarrassed by it to Songjun. Songjun, who, that's how I found him. And little side note, he was born on my birthday. He's only one of 2 idols who were born on my birthday, and he's my bias. How perfect is that? Anyway, I'm like rambling right now. Songjun, for personal reasons, or maybe he wanted a fresh start with this new comeback, has changed his name, and his name is now Soham. So Soham is my bias, and for his challenge, since he's changed his name so many times, is just to read a book by an author who has a pen name. I don't have a book picked for this. I don't think I have any books on my TBR that have like authors with pen names. The next member is Insong. He is the loud, powerful vocal of the group, and for his challenge, it is to read a book that will impact you, or an impactful book. Since his vocals are so powerful and impactful, read a book that will change you in some way or impact your life. The last member is Heejun. He is the maknae, even though he does not look like the maknae in my opinion. He is the shortest member. And if you know anything about K&K, K&K is one of the tallest boy groups out there. I think my bias, Soham, is like 185 centimeters, 186. He's like 6'5" or something like that. And Heejun, the youngest member, I think is 5'11", or like 6 foot. So he's still tall, but he's the shortest of the group. So for his challenge, it's to read a book under 200 pages. Since he is short, our challenge is to read a short book. And the book that's under 200 pages I will be reading is Firelight by Kazu Kibushi, book number 7 in the Amulet series. I just can't wait for this. I just can't wait. And the final challenge for January's Kpopathon is Lonely Night, which is the new album that they're coming out with on January 7th. And this one Amanda actually came up with, and it was a really good idea, so I'm just like, we're definitely doing it. So for the challenge of Lonely Night, it is to buddy read a book to combat having a lonely night, which to me is just, I would never have thought that, to be honest. Never. So find a friend and just pick a book that you both can read together during this week. So that's all for the update and announcement for January's Kpopathon. And let me know if you guys are going to be joining, and if you are, what you're planning on reading. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Kpopathon18. I'm not sure if it'll be changed to Kpopathon19. I will let you know right here if it is changed, or I'll just leave a link in the description down below. So that's all for today, and I'll see you guys soon with another video, which will probably be my January TBR. Bye!